It is a good card blocker.
You got a bit of time. Wolzarg with 1 ruby, 1 sapphire threshold.
Has Tunnel to True. Now, with the deck lists available, players do know what that is tunneled. We see the draw by Brynhildr laying down a blood shard here. Both players playing relatively quickly, which is really. It's always nice to see players playing quickly, like they know what they're doing there. I'm playing out my moves quickly, but obviously, if you have to take thought into your moves, that's not bad by any stretch of the imagination. We see that ruby shard come out. Double sapphire, double ruby thresholds met by Wolzarg. I believe that means anything in his deck can be played here. Brynhildr on the other side of the table, double diamond, double blood, same situation, and lays down that Vampire King. This is one of the key cards in the matchup, as it is a strong card against the Gorefeast deck, and that immediately gets counter magicked. So we see why Wolzarg led with that double sapphire earlier. Counter magic, a strong card in his list, but he doesn't have a whole lot of. He's not running a 4 of. So he's got to pick and choose his moments there. And here we see the Cerulean Mirror Knight into Blaze Elemental play with the purpose of getting 3 damage through early, as well as drawing a card when the Blaze Elemental sacrifices itself at the end of the turn. That Tunneling Troop is at 3 counters. What could it be, Hacky? What could it be?
I don't know. Monsoon? It's always Monsoon, right? It's probably a Reese.
It's probably a Reese. And by probably a Reese, we mean definitely a Reese. Is the stream coming back up, Tech?
It's like a repeat of yesterday.
We see a really destructive early play here. It's a shame people are kind of missing this. We see Brynhildr swinging in with Reese and Heroic Outlaw here, not Brynhildr, Wolzarg swinging into Brynhildr there, bringing him down to 5 health here super early. But on the other side of the board, we see the Extinction clearing that board up. Excellent. For anybody that missed it, Wolzarg with the early aggression, Heroic Outlaws. I don't know how he has he has a warp on his grave because of Reese. His Reese surfaced. He's put down a Heroic Outlaw, managed to develop the board quite quickly. Brynhildr responded with an Extinction on the other side of the board, but Wolzarg, still with plenty of cards in hand, lays down Cerulean Mentalist and Royal Falconer, gets Extinctioned again. Extinction, one of the power cards in this matchup for Blood Diamond, leaving Wolzarg now with only 1 card in hand and 1 card to draw. Is it possible for a Gorefeast player to come back from this situation?
Crackling Bolt does it.
Crackling Bolt is, in fact, a game-winning card here, barring Repel.
Oh, no!
Uh-oh.
And skipped his attack phase. That is brutal. Like I said, both players playing really quickly.
That's rough. Oh, that's rough. I mean, just clearly a misclick on that one.
It's an interesting digital TCG only situation.
Well, to be fair, if you gave that signal, even if you fully intended, you can't really go back in a competitive setting.
Hmm.
It is, and as it's not in his opponent's interest to allow that to happen, it is up to Brynhildr, but he's under no obligation to go back.
Yeah, I think Penta's right though. I mean, it's almost unheard of to have this kind of situation happen in a real life setting where oops, I forgot to attack. It's not 0 times, but it's
Yeah,
definitely
it's usually a different kind of thing. Like, oops, I forgot to do this thing. I've watched my friend lose a regionals top 8 because he just forgot to play a resource on one of his turns.
Mm.
And we're watching him, and we tell him, "Did you know you forgot a resource on that one turn?" We won't let him live that down for a bit yet.
Looks like Brynhildr is going to concede here. He realizes that was a bug. The
Good guy,
gentleman in
Brynhildr.
him will concede here.
No one would fault him for not letting it go, but perhaps
Well,
gaining
I
some
mean,
kismet points
they could
here.
have gone to judges there. They could have gone to judges there if they had to. And I mean that's one of the ones I don't know how the judges would have dealt with that. But I mean, it was clear that the attack was intended, and if it was a
right.
bug, which it kind of did look like it was. Like I mean, that skipped the attack phase super quickly. I assume it really did bug, if we have to be honest. But either way, Brynhildr making massive brownie points with the community, looking like a total boss here, conceding.
In
So
terms of
when we were,
go
go ahead.
ahead. Okay, competitive misplays. That's one of the things that I like to practice for, so that mistakes are greatly lessened when they actually matter. Make all the forget the math and all of the misclicks and all of that. Get that out. Practice with the client, so that when it matters and it matters, try not to do that. And sometimes it includes just slowing down and making sure your play is solid.
I don't know if this is what happened, but I know I've had it happen once or twice before where I'm just F4ing to attack with all my troops, except I accidentally hit F5 and skip my attack.
I've moved my F5. I've done
Yeah,
this too many
Yeah.
my
times.
buttons aren't in the same situation. In fact, F5 is my swing with all. So, and then F6 uh, is my proceed to the next phase or proceed to end phase. And while that sounds like they're still close, those are actually miles apart on my keyboard. My F5 is on the left-hand side and my F6 is at the top.
What kind of weird keyboard do you have?
Uh,
Oh, I
yeah,
get it.
yeah, I've got a Logitech with the F1 through 5 on the left-hand side as well as the top.
I was going to mention F4 is nice because it's got that gap and you can feel for it.
Mm,
But if your F5 is on the bottom, then they're like in completely different places, and I understand that.
yeah. It's purely a convenience thing to have it at the bottom. It also means I can just like move my left hand.
Oops, my elbow hit my F5 at the bottom. Guess I skipped my turn.
Seraph MTG not wrong. Cheating not available in digital TCGs, which is an interesting thought process.
Tech provides another good way to go about it. Purposeful clicks only.
I know Infamous Neo doesn't use any keyboard shortcuts. He's all about those button clicks.
I mean, yeah, but what if you're playing one of those decks where you make 1,000,000 troops? I mean, I'm just too lazy, or it's
The
impractical.
attack with all
F5
the
is
attack with
good.
all is
F4,
very
F4.
different.
F5
Yeah.
for Penta.
Did I say elbow? I meant just like the left hand of my side, the left side of my hand. Your middle finger always is over your power button? Like the power. This seems terrifying.
No comment. Oh, power button. Oh, power button. So we see Brynhildr starting up game 2 here. At the turn 1 diamond shard for the ever important Angel.
Always the important situation here, that diamond. If he gets a turn 2 angel, things could be very desperately in his... he did mull. Looks like he mulliganed down to 5, actually. Actually, did he mull down to 4, or did he have 4, 5. Yeah, he's
No,
all
it was
done.
5, and he was on the play.
Yeah, but he just had his turn too, and he's only got 5 cards missing from the deck.
No, you're right. That's my mistake. My mistake.
I mentioned this before, but the theme of that handguard is amazing.
He's a really good handguard. So we see the Cerulean Mirror Knight on Wolzarg's side of the board, who didn't mulligan and is laying down troops on curve in about the best way possible. We do see a tunneled troop and that Cerulean Mirror Knight.
Now, interesting, we don't know for sure which tunnel troop it is because Wolzarg does have a few other tunnel options in the reserve there.
Storm clouds for days.
Second Storm Cloud on the board now with that Cerulean Mirror Knight. And the Blaze Elemental going in. We see the meat come out. That'll destroy the Cerulean Mirror Knight here. That'll prevent those storm clouds from being further inspired. The Stormlings being inspired by the Cerulean Mirror Knight effect would just give far more card draw to Wolzarg.
2
And
cards
put
is
him-
still a lot, but I mean, it could definitely be worse.
And he gets 2 splashies off of the 1 Storm Cloud, so card draw still available for him here.
Now the Reese as well.
Here we see the Reese. Have to wonder if Brynhildr is going to be able to extinction this board and clear it up. We see another sacrifice Stormcloud here, gets 2 Thunder Puffs. Thunder Puff probably what Brynhildr, like anything but splashy would be okay for him here.
Now attacking with a Reese here is a
Does
little
mean-
aggressive.
Yep, does mean that Repel will come out, destroy it. Verdict
Duh.
was in hand. The second Repel, though, will get through.
It's an important step on the road to stabilizing. He does need some sort of way to get rid of these Stormlings, as when they all attack.
Yeah, Gorfy still makes them very strong in this situation. So with that verdict out of hand now, Wolzarg kind of open to the position of losing these troops. That being said, still has 6 resources open, 5 cards in hand, and will draw 2 even if the splashies are about to be destroyed.
Still, yeah, it's still a lot of card advantage for Wolzarg. And still an uphill battle for Brynhildr, but it's not over yet.
And there is a counter magic as well, which was not used on the Repel earlier. It was saved specifically in case of extinction here. You see
And
Cerulean
that's
Mentalist
probably
coming out.
really painful. Brynhildr going down to 10, not the worst, but given Polka the champion, random Ruby direct damage actions, and all sorts of
Extinction
things.
costing 6 here now is going to be really brutal. Even if he has another one in hand, he's 2 resources away from being able to play it.
Yeah, the Reese attack a little aggressive, but probably not going to end up mattering when your opponent's just down so many cards.
Yeah, it wasn't just the mulligan here. Like the mulligan certainly didn't help Brynhildr,
Sure.
but
The Mirror Knight as well, the
the
splashes.
Mirror Knight Stormcloud splashy situation is just such a brutal thing to be up against. And here we see Poka Poka's charge power coming out, murder in response on the Cerulean Mentalist to prevent one card draw.
You do what you can, but he's still taking 7 damage this turn, going down to 3. That's in Crackling Bolt range.
Yeah. Still 2 cards in Wolzarg's hand, and it's not as if he can, like, an Angel off the top can be exhausted by the Thunder Puffs. He can dig through his deck with the splashies if need be. He's going to draw a card off the Blaze Elemental dying anyway. He's back up to 3 cards in hand. There's never been a point in this game where he's had less cards in hand than Brynhildr has, which must be frustrating from Brynhildr's side of the board. We see a Living Totem come.
Won't be enough.
Even in a situation like if Wolzarg were to full swing here and Brynhildr were to use Life Drain on the Living Totem, that is the only saving grace, and it's hard to imagine that kind of play is going to be made.
He could have a combat trick in hand of some sort. Maybe another repel if Mirror Knight does attack. But I mean, Mirror Knight doesn't need to attack. Totem could get flight, but something else needs to happen.
Well, Totem can get flight, and even if it does, it's an awkward situation because he can't block with it anyway.
And something else may just happen. A murder on a splashy.
I mean, yeah.
You do what you gotta do. Oh, letting the murder go. I mean, it doesn't matter. Because of that, Totem can't get flight.
I gotta say, to be fair, I think Wolzarg probably would have beaten most of the draws that the Blood Diamond deck would have there. It just would have played out a little differently.
He had Verdict, he had Counter Magic, he had early Reese, early Counter Magic, early
CMK, early Cloud.
CMK, double early Cloud. Like his card draws weren't like that's if you're playing the Gorfeast deck, those are the hands you want.
Right.